Tatum here. Welcome back. Today I have a lower back routine that we're going to do to strengthen and help prevent pain. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to work on our lower back strength. I've had a few people ask about that and has some issues that pop up. All right, so I want to make sure that we're feeling good there. The stronger our core is, especially our lower back, the more that we can do when we're strength training without getting hurt. And that's very important. And even so, if you're a runner or a triathlete or you're in other sports, we have to have this core strength, okay? So if you're having lower back issues, we're gonna go ahead and address some of that and give you something to work with for now. So you're gonna feel good today, okay? All right, so today I'm using a ball. I do have my stepper here and I'll show you why and how, but hopefully I set enough time to give you some alternatives going through this, okay? So let's go ahead and we're just gonna do a quick warm up. This is gonna be low key, almost like a yoga stretch day. Now, there's a little bit of strength in here, okay? So our first one, I just want you to lay down here on your back and just bring those knees in, pulling just gently in towards your chest. Not all the way, just a little rock here. Good. We're just gonna kind of move here. Let's go ahead, put your hands on your knees, and I want you to do little circles all the way around and then come back the other direction. Good. I'm just doing a couple one direction and then a couple the opposite. Good. Let's bring those feet to the floor. I'm gonna have you arch your back here and then just do a pelvic tilt under, pushing that back flat and into the floor, okay? So now give it a good arch. Kind of reminds me of the cat-cow in reverse, right? Or on your back. There you go. Nice little arch. And then tuck and flatten out. Good. Let's give it a couple more. Flatten out. You want a pretty good arch here where you can get your hand under your back and then tuck and hold. Good. Feel that bracing, that movement, that when you're pulling in and down, okay? It's nice and tight, right? You can touch and feel the tightness. Good, release. All right, let's do a couple more rocks in and out, and we're gonna come up, talk about this first circuit. So what I did is I broke this down into pairs, and we'll move through just twice. I want this to be something super quick that you can do more frequently, all right? So this isn't like our strength training where it's like, oh, I need a couple days of rest in between. I would say almost every day or every other day you could do this as long as you're not feeling too tired from it, okay? So our first one here is gonna be a bird dog on the ball. You can do this from the floor, so I'm gonna give you two options. Let me show you the floor version in case you don't have a ball at home, and you might have done this before, but you're gonna lift up opposite arm and leg, find your balance, really extend, and then replace your hands and then alternate here, okay? Think about squeezing and turning on the glute. We're gonna work from the ball here if you have that. And then I just have a little kind of dead bug modification that we'll do after this. All right, and that one will be from the floor, and then we'll go through with the stepper later. So let's go ahead and get ready. We have 10 seconds. We're gonna come up so that our hips are on the ball here, hands are down, and we're just going to squeeze, first that glute, lift, arm and leg, okay? Here we go, 3, 2, and 1. Alternating. What I like about having the ball is it's a little unstable, so you have to manage that by really stabilizing your core muscles. Lift and squeeze, good. Single leg lift and arm, opposite arm and leg. Nice and slow and controlled. Get some height, but don't go too far. Squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna set that ball aside. We're gonna come down with bent knees, and we're gonna push our hands and knees in against each other, okay? That's gonna cause that bracing motion here in the core. Here we go. Push. And we're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. Just bracing and pushing. This is great. I always talk about how to brace, and a lot of times it's hard for people to find that feeling, and this will give it to you instantly. All right, so I'm kind of pushing my back into the floor. I'm trying to flatten out that back, and I've got my hands and knees working against each other here. All right, just hold it. 3, 2, and 1. Good work. All right. I always like to warm up with that. Typically, even before a run, just engage the core muscles there, okay? Here we go. We're gonna come down. Back to that bird dog on the ball. Woo, find some balance, right? Squeeze and lift. You got it. We can do this from the floor, kneeling. We are gonna work abs today as well, because a lot of times what happens through your workout is those abs get tired, okay? And then you find that they're not engaging, and so then your back is doing some of that work. So there's a lot of reasons we aren't stabilizing and helping out that lower back with some other core muscles. So even mobility in our hips if there's tightness. So we're gonna work on that at the end as well. All right, here we go. Let's press those hands against our knees, okay? You can lift your shoulders off just a bit if you want and push in. Good. Hold and breathe. See if you can breathe and still maintain that brace, okay? That push there. That's really important. And this is something you can find and practice. And then when you're standing, you can feel it just as well. 3, 2, and 1. All right, I gave us a little bit of rest here, okay? Going forward, we have 2 exercises. We're gonna do a reverse hyper using the ball. Another very good one. We just kind of did a single leg when we were in the bird dog. Now we're gonna try to lift both legs. If you're on the floor, you could lay down on your stomach. I'll show you that real quick. Just place your forehead on your hands and just work on squeezing your glutes and lifting here. Not quite the range of motion that you'll get up on a ball, all right? So you're gonna come up over the ball again, hands down, and just lift and squeeze, okay? Then we're gonna go into a stir the pot on the ball as well. A little instability again, okay? So what we're trying to work is a lot of core stabilizers. Just lift and squeeze, okay? I'm trying to turn those glutes on and then lift, and make sure that you're not bouncing and swinging into this, okay? This is a lift. Up and down. Good, you got it. Just 30 seconds. So even with our runs, this is where I get into trouble, because I do a lot of repetitive motion with training, is that if certain muscles are tight and certain are weak, then a lot of times our back muscles start to hurt, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, we still need the ball. I'm just gonna talk. I shouldn't talk too much. We're gonna stir the pot. You can do one knee down, all right, and 1 foot back, and you're gonna rotate and circle around, okay? That's enough work for today. If you're there, you're gonna go up on both feet, and you're gonna maintain that plank, okay? And just circle around a little bit. Stir that pot. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All right, we're back to that reverse hyper and back to this. Anyway, so I ran into problems because a lot of these muscles just kind of automatically fire and work for us when they're working. And so sometimes you have to just concentrate on them and train them, right? Here we go. Squeeze and lift. Good. So we're gonna get all areas. We're gonna make sure that our glutes are working for us, okay? Because if they're not, our back could be called on a bit more. Our abs, if they're not able to brace and hold themselves and help also, maybe our back is overworked. That's rest. And then we're gonna go in to make sure that our hips are loose enough to so that it's not tugging. We don't have tugging and tightness on our lower back. All right, so all of those things play a part and much more, but we'll start with that. Here we go. Again, if you need to, one knee down, maybe use the other knee this time, and 1 foot back, rotating around. Otherwise, we're up on both feet. Circle, circle, circle. Three, 2, and 1. All right, nice work. That's a rest. Okay, so now we're going to 2 more exercises, and one's going to be for the abs. We're going to do just a butterfly sit-up, kind of take out the lower abs. All right, so you're going to lay down for that one here, feet together, and we're just going to work on crunching up using our abs only, okay? And make sure that we exhale there. Then my all-time favorite, and we're all-time favorite here. This really helped me with some injuries that I was dealing with my high volume training, but is getting into a side plank. You can today just go a kneeling side plank or feet stacked, or you're gonna use a stepper here, okay? I've got the little window under here. I'm gonna come up. If you can join me here with your stepper. I've used a footstool too at home, and what we're gonna do is I just want you to lift that top foot up and down. Touch and tap, little abduction. Now I want you to go bottom foot, up, down. This is really tough, okay? If you're not there today, that's okay. Just hold your side plank. All right, tapping up, down, up, down. Make sure that you're not leaning forward, okay? We're right, our shoulders are stacked on top of each other. All right, that's a rest, good. We're gonna actually do the other side. And I realize I'm gonna have my back to you on this one, okay? So you can see it, here we go. Elbow under shoulder, up. Here we go, lift that top leg first. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked, that your hip is up to the ceiling, that your hips are also in line between your feet and your head. That's halfway, so now I want you just to tap up with that bottom leg. Up, down. You got it. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now we're going to that butterfly crunch so we don't forget about our abs. All right. And all of this, I know, and I'll admit, and I hate to admit it, but this isn't real exciting stuff. I'd rather be doing a thruster or a barbell squat or a bench press. Trust me, it's probably one of my least favorite things to stop and do. Even crunches. I know a lot of people love crunches, but probably not my go-to. But you have to do it, and I realize that when a couple injuries pop up, you realize, you know what, you really have to stop and train these smaller muscles, activate them, make sure that they're working for you in order to prevent that lower back pain and other sciatica issues that could go on. All right, that's time there. Good job. We have one more on that side plank again. A couple things I didn't show you. If you're here, you can do abduction from your knee, okay? And then if you want, you can even bring up here and tap if you need to. All right, those are some options if you don't have this. I'm gonna start bottom first, 2. We're gonna go 15 seconds bottom, tapping up. Again, make sure your alignment is good. We're halfway. Let's bring that top foot up, down. Good. You got it. It's a hard one, but it's so good. And I'm just talking 15 seconds of each of those, a couple times, not too many, all right? All right, we're gonna go to the other side. Again, make sure to stay in line, okay? No pushing the hips back or rolling forward. It's important. Here we go, we're up. Let's go ahead, let's start with that bottom one first. Tapping up towards the top. This stepper works really well. Again, anything not too high that you can get your foot up on. You could use a bench too. I find that's a little bit high for me. So I like using something a little smaller. Even a step stool that has some area to move underneath. 3, 2, and 1. Or a low chair would work, all right? Okay, Good work. So we're working our adductors on that one and our abductors, which just help with strength, hip stability, right? Here we go. Butterfly crunches. Blow that air out. If we're not stable around our hips as well, and we don't have good mobility, this can also cause our back muscles to be called on a little bit more, right? So we need our adductors, our inner thighs, our hips, our abs. We need a low back strength too, but all those areas need to be working together. 3, 2, and 1, rest. Whew. All right, so that's all we did. We did 2 sets. What I would advise is starting with the 2 sets here and working your way up. And again, on this stepper, if that was too much, just come down here with a bent knee, do your abduction here. You're still getting a good side plank, working hips. And then what you could do is come here to a chair and tap up and down without doing the side plank for that one. All right? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and cross this leg over here, get a little stretch in the hip. So it's a little low-key today. I hope you like that. I've had a couple people in the past and just somebody recently bring up some lower back, just overdoing it. And some of the workouts require a lot of good core. Let's go ahead and cross the other foot. A lot of core strength, and mostly it's just that endurance in the core, right? That stamina, be able to stabilize throughout a half an hour workout or an hour workout. And when that starts to go, when we start to fatigue, then your back might start to do a lot of the work, and this is where issues arise. So we just need to build that strength and stability and stamina. So you've got to work on it, you got to isolate it, right? We have a lot of great big muscles that can do a lot of the work for us, and they'll do that. And then those little muscles just kind of turn off and let them take over. And the next thing you know, they're kind of getting weak, right? All right, let's come down here. I'm going to go ahead and have you cross again. But this time I want you to reach in and grab your shin and pull in. Get a bigger stretch here. Good. Let's go ahead, drop that down. Bring the other foot across again. Reach in, grab that shin, and lay back. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold that breath through these stretches. All right, let's come out of that. Let's go into a one of my favorites again. I had an old yoga instructor teach me this. We're gonna do stacked cross leg here, okay? So you're gonna make sure this heel is over your knee, and then this heel and knee are also lined up. And look how high. I have a lot of space. I've got to work on this, but right here, and we're just gonna hold it and breathe, sit tall. Feels good. Sometimes when I'm watching TV, I just like to sit down like this. Honestly, that's when I do most of this kind of stuff, is while I'm watching TV. I figure I can get down on the floor and do a little bit. Let's go ahead and cross the other side. I'm gonna take you just a little bit longer than my timer says here. Again, stacking that ankle and knee on both sides. Sit tall and breathe. Hopefully that will release a little bit. But again, this is something great to do. Once you have these exercises, I know you're kind of following this now, but once you get a few of these that you really enjoy doing, or maybe you don't, but they're necessary, sit in front of your TV while you're watching TV. Just make a pact with yourself that if I'm gonna watch TV, it's when I do all my foam rolling, all my stretching, all these core exercises are typically when I sit down in the evening to just watch some TV. I mean, spend 10 minutes on it. This is 16 minutes. Spend 10 minutes on it, all right? You wouldn't even have to go through the little warm-up I gave us too much. Probably already warm from the day if it's later, and just work on this. And again, this is a good one. Just don't stay in it too long, okay? Made that mistake one other time, all right? So that's it today, just a quick short one. We worked on a little bit of mobility, or a little bit of stretching in the hips. We had some lower back strength, glute activation and strength, and we even did a little bit of abs, okay? All there to help with our lower back issues that we might be having as we progress through our exercises and start loading ourselves with more weight. So just make sure that's there, and even if you're a big time runner, trust me as a runner, you know, you're moving, you're twisting, you're doing swimming, or maybe you're cycling, your core and your glutes and everything is, they're called on all the time. And if they're not activating and they're not being utilized well, they don't have the stamina and the strength to keep going, you'll have some issues arise. So keep them strong, keep working on this. It may not be the most exciting thing, but it's good for you. So I hope you feel good today and have a great one. Ring our bell, leave us a comment. Thank you.